All right. So what's the first thing? Got to find the hypotenuse, right? A squared plus b squared equals c squared. This is the c, right? Always opposite the right angle. So 10 squared plus 24 squared equals c squared. 100 plus, what is that, 576? Which is 676. What do I do now? Square root, which is 26, right? Everybody got that, I think. And some of you stopped. I have to find the 6 trig function. That's what this is. Trigonometry. I was going to say trigonometry and trigonometric at the same time. It didn't work. All right. But these are all even numbers, right? So I'm going to reduce them by 2 so I don't have to reduce my fractions at the end. Okay? If you don't reduce your fractions next Thursday on your quiz, you don't get full credit. So I'm going to make that a 5. This a 12, and this a 13. All right? Sine. So here's theta. Opposite. Hypotenuse. Simple. Fraction. That's it. If you had 10, why did I put 26? What should it be? 13. If you put 10 over 26 and don't make it 5/13ths, you're going to miss some points. Okay? Cosecant goes with sine. So I'm just going to do that one right away. Reciprocal. Cosine of theta. Ka. Theta's here. Adjacent is 12. Hypotenuse is 13. Secant goes with that. So that's 13/12. Simple. Tangent. That's TOA. Opposite 5 over adjacent 12. Cotangent is its reciprocal. You should be able to do that. Right, Serenity? Right. Make sure you get all of them. Okay? Number 2. Do we need to do it? No? What'd you get for the missing side? Square root of 65. Maybe I should do that one. Because some of you will go 4 squared plus 9 squared. It's not right. 9 is the what? Hypotenuse. That's the c. So it's 4 squared plus b squared. Or if you want to do a squared plus 4 squared. I don't care which one you make, a or b. Okay? So 16. Subtract 16 when you move it over. That does not simplify. So you leave it, the square root of 65. I don't want to see 8.1. I see a decimal 8.1, you're missing the whole thing. The whole thing, Maddie. Well, you missed it all then. No. So, theta is up here this time. So the square root of 65 is the opposite side. The 4 is the adjacent. The 9 is the hypotenuse. Okay. So again, if you don't put it in radical form, I'm telling you now that you're going to miss it. The whole thing. Because you're defying me. Don't defy me, Skylar. So square root of 65 over 9. Again, I like to do them right together. When we have the quiz, I got them in Different order, though. So you got to know what goes with what. All right, so this would be 9 over the square root of 65, which I'm not allowed to keep in that form. So I have to rationalize the denominator, which we've done many, many times this year. So that's what it should be when it's finished. Cosine is adjacent 4 over hypotenuse 9. I'll do secant here because I'm going to need some room. So 9 over 4, that one's quick and easy. Tangent, theta opposite, square root of 65 over adjacent 4. And then the cotangent is the reciprocal of that, which means I have to rationalize that denominator. So again, 6 answers. Not that hard once you get that missing side, but you got to do the extra work if you got a radical in the bottom. Make sure everything's in lowest terms. Okay. Questions? All right, this is the exact same problem, except they give you the information. They don't draw the picture for you. You have to draw the picture. Okay? I like to put theta down there, but if you put it up there, that's fine. Okay? So theta's here. What's 5? Adjacent, opposite, or hypotenuse? Adjacent. What's 11? Opposite or hypotenuse? Hypotenuse. So I got to do the same thing now. I got to find the missing side and find the remaining 5 because I gave you one of them. You could do secant right away if you want. But you know that's the reciprocal of cosine, right? But I got to find that. So it's a squared plus 5 squared equals 11 squared. Oops, 25. Subtract 25. And you get 96. And when you take the square root of that, it's 16 times 6. What comes out front? 4. 6 is left. So you're going to use that as your missing side, 4 radical 6. So the answers are for sine 4 radical 6 over 11. Cosecant would be 11 radical 6 over 24 when you simplify or rationalize the denominator. For tangent, it's 4 radical 6 over 5. For cotangent, it's 5 times the square root of 6 over 24. Anybody need to see any of that? Maddie?
If it comes out to 96 and you square root that, can you do that in your calculator too?
No.
Alright.
No. You can't have it as, what is it, 9.8 or something?
But your calculator won't make that theoretical.
No. It'll just give you the decimal answer. So you have to simplify the radical like you know how to do. Got to make it 4 radical 6. Again, you're not allowed to write a fraction with a decimal in it. Not allowed to write what? For this 9.8 or whatever that is over 11. They don't go together. Okay? So, for number 5, your picture. Cotangent is a reciprocal of tangent. So tangent was opposite over adjacent. So cotangent is adjacent over opposite. So that's what it starts out looking like. And then you got to find the hypotenuse, which was the square root of 113. So the tangent would be 8/7, right? When you use Pythagorean, you get that. So the sine is 8 times the square root of 113 over 113. The cosecant is the square root of 113 over 8. The cosine is 7 times the square root of 113 over 113. And secant is the square root of 113 over 7. Questions? Okay, this one, again. Secant's reciprocal of cosine. All right? So cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. Secant was hypotenuse over adjacent. When you do Pythagorean theorem, this becomes the square root of 39. 121 for that minus 81 is 39. And then you take the square root. It won't simplify. So again, cosine is the reciprocal of that. Sine is radical 39 over 11. Cosecant is 11 times the square root of 39 over 39. Tangent is the square root of 39 over 9. Cotangent is 9 times the square root of 39 over 9. Those are all basically the same. Those 6 problems, basically the same problem. So you should have this down now. Lots of practice you had.
I'm sorry, this might be silly, but how did you get radical 39?
Yeah, I got bored.
Then I did it wrong. It's 40. It is 40. How did I get 39? I have no idea. I just seen if you guys are paying attention. Brett got something different too. So that's 40 because that's 121 minus 81, right? That's 40, right? I don't know why I said 39. 81 for that, 121. So when you take the square root of that, that's a 4 and a 10, right? So that's 2 radical 10. So that's what it should be. So sine is 2 radical 10 over 11. And then cosecant would be 11 over 2 radical 10 times the radical 10, which would be 11 radical 10 over 20. And then what else do we need? Tangent and cotangent. Tangent would be 2 radical 10 over 9. And cotangent would be 9, 20, radical 10 when I simplify it. Thanks, Rosalie. I messed up. I was going way too fast. So, don't get in a hurry like me and make mistakes. Okay, the next two are really easy. That's a 30. What's the relationship between the short leg and the hypotenuse? Hypotenuse is twice as long as that, right? So what's 16 divided by 2? 8. Okay, what do you know about a 45-45? The two sides. They're equal, right? So that's 10. If we did this, what would it be? 10 radical 2. What if we did this side? Just for practice. 8 radical 3. Good. Okay. All right. We got a top a pole. Pole's usually straight up and down, right? Here's the ground. There's a cable attached to it, trying to keep it straight up and down. All right. So the cable is attached to the top of the pole and mounted to the ground 3 feet from the base of the pole. Base of the pole mounted to the ground 3 feet. Pole should be at 90 degrees. The angle of elevation from the mounting to the top of the pole is 78. Angle of elevation is going up, right? Not going down. So the 78 should be down there with the ground and the cable. What's the height of the pole? So we're looking for that. Does that make sense? Some of you had that backwards. Some of you had the 78 up there and the 3 here for the pole. Okay? So it's mounted 3 feet from the base of the pole. Okay? If you wanted to flip that sideways, then it would work, I guess. So here's my angle. What side is X? Opposite. What side is 3? Adjacent. Which one uses opposite and adjacent? Tangent. That's my equation. What did I tell you to do with the one on the left? Put it over 1 and make it a proportion, right? And then you just cross multiply. 1 times x is x. And then 3 times the tangent of 78 is our answer, which was what? 14.1? I think that's what I got. Yeah, 14.1 feet. Okay? Questions? All right, stuff like this is going to be on our quiz. Okay? Next week. All right? What did we talk about on 10-2? Let's give me a degree measure, Preston. 77 degrees. Okay. So put that in standard form. Initial side, 77 is going to be about right there, isn't it? So that's in standard form. Right? How many degrees is to this line? 90. This one, 180, which is the same as pi radians. This one, 271. This one, 360, which is 2 pi. This is actually pi over 2. This one's 3 pi over 2 in radians. Okay? How do we go from degrees to radians? (180 over pi or pi over 180? Good. Pi over 180. All right? So if I wanted to go to radians, I do this. Go 77 divided by 180. Hit math, enter. Won't reduce, so it would just be 77 pi over 180 radians. Right? How do we go from radians to degrees? 180 over pi. You want the pi's to cancel, right? What do we say about coterminal? Add and subtract what? How many degrees? To get around again, stop at the same spot? 360, right? So let's find a negative coterminal angle to that 77. We start here, and we go this way, and we're going to stop right there. That would be the coterminal. How many degrees would that be? 90, 180, 270 plus how many? 13. What's 270 plus 13? 283. But it's negative because we're going that. Okay? So just a quick review of section 10.2. Flip that worksheet over. That's your homework. You did all of it this time. Nice.
I did, when I do like in that, that was 5 over, and then 6,
180 over pi. because there's no degrees with it. And then you actually put that pi symbol and get that decimal. That one you're allowed to have a
Yeah,
decimal.
if I took use it in Canada.
Okay, the other ones with the pies, without the degrees, should have pi in it, right? So you got, yeah, you just got to. Not the small ones?
First round expedition. I stopped watching after Shrek. You didn't even see the roll.
Was that that good? But you know, give me a dozen, right?
Which one?
First three.
Eagles.